Hello everyone. In our previous lecture, we have done the solution of state equation for homogeneous as well as non-homogeneous. Now, if we think of homogeneous equation, it will be x dot equal to ax, right? Now, if I want to get the solution of this equation, we have to take the Laplace transform. So if I take the Laplace transform, I am getting it is as s into xs minus x0 this will be a into xs. Okay, so if I take xs here, I can write it as si minus a equal to x0, right? So it will be xs, that will be si minus si minus a inverse into x0. So this is the xs. Not what we have to do, we have to take inverse Laplace. If we take inverse Laplace transform, we can able to get xt. Now here we have assumed that si before that we have in our previous lecture we have assumed si minus a inverse, we have taken it as phi s. So my xs is becoming phi s into x0. So xs is becoming, it will be, as it is this, therefore my xs is becoming phi s into x0. Okay, so now we have to take the inverse Laplace to get the xt. So that means xt is inverse Laplace of this. So what is xt? Xt is actually inverse Laplace of the whole thing, that is this phi s into x t0. Okay, where t0, what is t0? t0 means it is greater than equal to, where t is greater than equal to 0. So now from here we can able to write that this xs is si minus a inverse, si minus a inverse. You can write it in this way too. Okay. Okay. So now this solution, this si minus a inverse, that is we call this as phi t. We also call this as phi t into x0. Okay, phi t into this. So this phi t is called state transition matrix. What is phi t? Phi t is Laplace inverse of, this phi t is Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse. Okay, so Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse is known as phi t, or it is also known as state transition matrix. This is also known as state transition matrix. Okay, and this phi s, what we have assumed, it is called resolvent matrix. So phi s is called phi s. This phi s is called resolvent matrix, and phi t is called state transition matrix. Okay, so and what is relation between phi s and phi t? Phi t is Laplace inverse of phi s, and what is that? Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse. Okay, so these two things is very important. Now what we are going to discuss, the properties of state transition matrix. So the properties of state transition matrix. Okay, now one thing I must add, that if you take this, if you make it inverse Laplace, you will find that this phi t will become e to the power at, where a is the system matrix. So if you solve this, you will find that the state transition matrix or phi t will be equal to e to the power at. So what we learn from this slide, that if we solve the homogeneous equation, we can able to get xt, which is dependent on phi t. This phi t is called state transition matrix, and it should have a value of e to the power at. When we are doing the process, we will get phi s. What is phi s? Phi s means si minus a inverse. This will be known as resolvent matrix. And if we take Laplace inverse of this matrix, we will get phi t, and this phi t will be e to the power at. Now we are going to know some properties of phi t or state transition matrix. So what is state transition matrix? State transition matrix phi t, or it is also known as STM. STM is equal to e to the power a into t. Now the first property is, what is phi? The first property is, can you define, can you calculate what is phi 0? Obviously we can do. Just put t equal to 0. So if you put t equal to 0, you will get this. So phi 0, we can write phi at t equal to 0, we will get e to the power this t0. So if I express phi t in this way, if I express phi t in a way of series, we can write, it will be first identity matrix, as it is a is a matrix, so it will be, the first is a identity matrix, then it will be at plus then a square into t square by factorial 2 plus in this way. So if you put t equal to 0, naturally it will become a identity matrix. So phi 0 will be obviously a identity matrix. Okay. Next, another is, what is derivative of phi t? So d phi by dt equal to what? So if this is phi t, if phi t equal to e to the power at, naturally phi dot t will be obviously a will come and it will be e to the power at, right? So this means phi t. So I can write it as A phi t. So the property is telling that this will be A into phi t. It is the second property to remember. Next, the third one. The third one says, what is inverse of phi t? What is inverse of phi t? Okay, let's do it. If phi t is e to the power at, then phi inverse t will be e to the power minus at. So it can be written as e to the power a of minus t. So I can write it as phi of minus t. So that means phi inverse t will be equal to phi of minus t. So this is the third property to remember. Next, property number 4. Property number 4 asking you that what can be phi t2 minus t1 into phi t1 minus t0. Okay, so what is this? We have to get it. So we know phi t is e to the power at. So if I put in this way, if I want to get phi t2 minus t1 and phi t1 minus t0, it can also be e to the power a t2 minus t1 into e to the power t1 minus t0. So we can write from this property, additive associative property, we can write t2 minus t1 plus t1 minus t0. So we are getting e to the power a t2 minus t0. That means we can write it as phi t2 minus t0. Therefore, we know that phi t2 minus t1 into phi t1 minus t0 is phi t2 minus t0. Okay, this is the fourth property to remember. Now, the last one. Suppose if phi t equal to e to the power at, what will be this? So we know phi t equal to e to the power at, right? So phi to the power kt. So if k comes here, that means this will be this. So it is becoming, we can write it as, basically this is phi t and there is a k multiplied. So phi, we can write it as phi kt. So phi t whole to the power k is this. So this is the fifth property to remember. Okay. So these 5 properties are important for the small short questions. So hope you understand the video. Thank you.